Welcome to the first edition of Northern Star Sports Podcast. I'm the host, Scott Nickel. I'm the sports editor over at the Northern Star. Along with me, I have the managing editor at the Northern Star, Nick Bosshart.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Eddie Garcia, he's a staff writer at the Northern Star.
How you guys doing, guys?
And then we have Alex Rodriguez, who is a top shelf sports guy at NTC, at the Northern Television Center.
Yeah, how you guys doing? It's a long night. I got finals going, but I think, are you guys surviving? I know I'm dying a little bit.
Yeah, it's not going well.
A little better than the football season. Which is the topic at hand today. The team has shown dramatic decline in their win-loss record since 2013 when they went 12-2. In 2014, they went 11-3. 2015, they went 8-4. And this year, after starting out 0-4, they finished the season 5-3 to finish the season 5-7 overall. But still, they have had very good players at their skilled position with Kenny Galladay at wide receiver, Shawan Lurie at safety, Drew Hare at quarterback before he went down. And normally in these situations in sports, the head coach gets fired. Now, do you guys think Rod Carey should remain the head coach at Northern Illinois University? Why or why not?
Well, here's the thing. It's hard to give a window. Usually in college football, you give a coach, 3-4 years, get his players developed from his recruiting class, and then you go from there. And what's going to help Rod Carey's situation is that regardless of the 5-7 record we are right now, this is his first losing record. It's not like this is like, we've gone 3-9, 2-10, like U of I the past couple years, and just been awful. We've been a big, dominant program going to the MAC championship. This is the first time we haven't been in the MAC championship in 6 years. It's an unbelievable mark we set, and now it just looks like the dog days are coming, not to put a pun. And I don't know. It's going to be hard to say if he's gone. It's, in my opinion, yes. I think he's lost the respect of his players. I think he's lost the respect of his fans. I think he's lost the respect of hopefully his boosters. He doesn't seem thrilled to talk in a press conference. He doesn't seem thrilled to talk about any NIU football. I think he checked himself out. It showed in a lot of the games that we should have won. Granted, there were a lot of close games, but again, 2-3 overtime games that we lost, and a very, very upsetting loss to Western Illinois in the beginning of the year. It's his time to go. It's time to start fresh for the new recruiting class and for Daniel Santa-Catarina moving forward.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I originally thought that Carey should be gone. Like a couple weeks ago, I was thinking, man, this guy is terrible, But I went back and looked at his records, this guy, like you said, he's went to 4 straight bowl games. Come on now, he's went positive every single season, 12-2, 11-3, 8-6. How can you fire a guy whose overall record with NIU is 36-19?
Well, what's their record in those bowl games?
Okay, that's true.
That's and what is the scores of those bowl games?
You're 100% correct, but here's a difference of talent there? I don't know. You can't just blame Carey. He's taken him there. He's taken him to that level. He's done it before. I don't know, man. Maybe one more year chance. I'm not sure.
If you look at the stats, I mean, he's a good coach. He's got a win percentage over 700. I mean, he's bringing in wins. The thing is, he's not bringing in fans. Attendance has been down so much the last 2 seasons. And it all comes back to the boosters. If the people that the money's coming from, if they want him gone, he's going to be gone. And the way it's looking right now, I don't think he's going to be back for next season.
Yeah, and to kind of touch on that a little bit, Nick, you mentioned that he's a good coach. Well, an anonymous football player told me that some guys on the team like Coach Carey, and quite a few others do not. This anonymous player said that a lot of players think he is a-hole, for lack of a better term. That was a direct quote. He gets in people's faces, and I know coaches, that's what coaches typically do, is get in people. But what this football player said is it's not motivational. He's like, downplaying to players. And what this player said is that nobody in the locker room would be disappointed if he was gone.
And that's just sad to hear. To say that the leader of the team, they don't care that he goes. Like, that's what the state of the football team is right now. And I heard last year at the Boca Raton Bowl, they were done at that point too. Players wanted to check out. They were there for the nice trip to Florida. They didn't care really about the game. Or not Boca Raton. Sorry, Poinsettia Bowl. Sorry, San Diego going to where did they go? They went to SeaWorld. They had ESPN did a piece on them going to SeaWorld. Like, they enjoyed that, but they didn't want to play. They want to play for a guy who degrades them, makes them feel little. When in reality, this program was the MAC. This was the MAC. People didn't like us. People wanted to be us, and now we're on the outside looking in.
Well, Scott, like you said, it's a coach's job to an extent to be in your face, but only to an extent. They also need to have that fun, attitude that players look up to, so that players want to play for him. If players don't want to play for a coach, they're not going to play for him, and they're going to have 5 and 7 seasons.
Cough, cough, PJ Fleck.
Cough, cough. That's exactly. The success of Western Michigan right now is the energetic, the crazy, the lovable PJ Fleck. His energy exuberates from fans going to games, from players wanting to be on the field to play their best, to possibly go to a Cotton Bowl game. And whoever they play in the Cotton Bowl, they have a chance to win. That's what they feel. And it's gone. That feeling is gone here at DeKalb.
Yeah, and to kind of chime in, from the typical person here, the Northern Star sent out a poll asking users to comment on their thoughts, and one Facebook user, Kim Hastings, said that the team really needs a bounce-back, injury-free season next year. Otherwise, changes are needed. Akash Patel, a Twitter user, said that he brought an Orange Bowl caliber team to a losing record in 4 years and needs to be gone.
But that was, unfortunately, that wasn't his team, or his Orange Bowl team.
Right,
Doran's.
right, yeah. Doran, he took over for Doran going into that game. Yeah. So that was his first official game as head coach. So
it all comes back to recruiting. Do we want to look at it as Rod Carey had a 12-2 team and an 11-3 team with Dave Doran's players? The players that he's recruited, he went 8-4 and 5-7. Does that just reflect on his recruiting, and maybe we need to move on from such a poor recruiter? Otherwise, we're gonna keep going further down into the cellar there.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a struggle. That was a struggle when Brady Hoke took over University of Michigan. His classes weren't doing well for. And I know, Scott, you don't like when I talk about Brady Hoke, but his recruiting classes weren't a part to the traditional of what University of Michigan brings. And at some point, you have to listen to your boosters, have to listen to your fans, and just say enough's enough. You're killing the program.
Personally, I think that Carey's going to leave on his own. I don't think that NIU is going to do anything involving him. I think he's just going to understand what the vibe is going into the end of the season, and he's just going to step down on himself.
It's $750,000. It's going to be hard. It's not. He
knows it's coming.
Money.
He knows it's coming. You know what I'm saying? It's either like you do it yourself respectfully, or school's going to do it.
He can't feel that his job is too secure right now, anyways.
Right. Yeah. Athletic Director Sean Frazier was quoted at the beginning of the year saying they weren't going to commit to Carey through the end of the season. Now, on November 17th, he was quoted saying that Rod Carey is our coach, and, that leads me to believe he will absolutely remain the coach to at least the start of the 2007 season. Now, if he remains the coach, do you guys think going into next season he's on a short leash, or is this season, because we are on our fourth quarterback, is this season a wash?
How long does a turkey take to cook? Or what's the preheat setting? Because whatever that preheat setting, that's going to be his chair the whole season. And I believe he's going to come back. It is his time to go, but he's going to come back. What the players are going to do in that spare time, I don't know. How the players are going to react, how we're going to go into the season. We're going to probably be a 3-9 team at most. Again, dog days are coming, and we're going to be in a rebuilding stage.
All right. So, Alex, you were the only one who said that you think he'll be done. Now, since you want to see him replaced, who would be your ideal replacement? Either from, within the organization or within NIU current coaches or outside coaches. I've heard Les Miles from a few people, but I have two very, very major issues with that. The first being he doesn't run the same offense as NIU, which is fine, but he runs a conservative pro-style offense, which is his downfall at LSU, versus NIU's triple option. Completely different schemes. It would, if you want to talk about going into dog days, you would go into dog days for a couple of years. And then the second, there's no realistic way we can afford him. So other than Miles, who would you replace?
No, here's the thing. Would Les Miles want to take that huge pay cut? That's the one thing you got to figure in here. That's going to be a bad pay cut if Les Miles even.
It's about the money.
Yeah, he's like, I don't think he'll ever go to a MAC program. He'll stay in the SEC or somewhere else. But honestly, it has to be in-house. I don't think you are a Mid-American Conference program and you get somebody super huge. I don't think as fans we expect a guy that's going to be super huge. We expect maybe our offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator step up and take the job, and maybe that will help. Just a new face to get the players excited to play in DeKalb again. I think that's all it's going to take.
I agree. I don't think a MAC program is going to attract that kind of high-profile name. I mean, we've gone to Tuesday and Wednesday night evening games just to get coverage on ESPNU or ESPN3. I mean, we're not going to attract a big name like that.
Yeah, if Carey stays and he's put on a short leash next season and they're looking for a new coach, I believe that just the offensive coordinator, Mike Irmovich, I believe he'll take over, and the reason why you even talked about it, it won't even change the offensive scheme. He knows it, so it'll be easy for him on that. And like you said, they're not going to get a high-profile coach right now. This team isn't really in the mindset right in the right place, so I believe that he'll just take over.
I mean, people are probably going to see that Dave Doran's job is, kind of on the hot seat as well at NC State, but I don't see him coming back. What was the head coach Minnesota? Jerry Kill. The man just needs to sit home and rest because he's had so many medical history issues and seizures, and it's awful. Yeah. Not everybody has to realize if there's a change, it will just be in-house and it won't be big.
All right. Do you guys have any other comments or thoughts on this Carey situation, Alex?
I just hope, for the sake of, this is what I'm going to say. All negative things aside about this program and this year, we still went to the MAC. MAC championship 6 years in a row. What an accomplishment it has been. I talked to alumni in the 90s where we went 1-11 and 2-10. Constantly. We were an awful program. And I don't think we're going to get that far. I just think that, again, I think we need to realize that this isn't the Jordan Lynch, Chandler Harnish days of old. Or even Drew Hare when he was healthy. I think it's just one of those reasons where the Bears got to rebuild.
Nick or Eddie?
In the last 6 years, how many guys have gone to the NFL from NIU? We've had, what,
Jimmy Ward, Doug Free, Deron Brown,
Jordan Lynch. He played. I don't know.
CFL career.
Well, he had a Brent Stiff.
Well, hey,
Breskinson.
Look at it. We're struggling to come up with names. Like, these guys, majority of them are not going to make it to the NFL. They're still supposed to be having fun playing this game.
Yeah, the only two guys that come to mind are Larry English and Jimmy Ward, who have even had remote success. But
these guys are supposed to be having fun. They're not. A handful of them might make it to the pros, but most of them aren't. They're supposed to be having fun. They've got a coach in their face yelling at them every single day who they just cannot look up to or get along with. They're not going to have fun, and they're not going to want to play. And if we keep Rod Carey around, that's how it's going to be.
I think we're just going to have to play the waiting game here, because I think next season, we're just going to wait till next season. Carey's going to come in, like we said, and it's just all about the waiting game, We don't know what's gonna happen, but hopefully this team comes out on top next season, man.
And one more point that I want to make. You talking about all the screaming being at your face. You know, these are kids.
Mm-hmm.
These aren't NFL players yet. Or like you said, they might not even get there.
They're still learning.
They're learning. They are going to classes. They are learning. We have one of the highest APRs in all of the NCAA.
Mm-hmm.
Great. But they're going to play on that field to have fun, to get away from their papers and their exams and their quizzes and their midterms. A man yelling at their face is not what they want. And they're sick of it. And who knows? Let's see what happens.
It's all in Sean Frazier's hands at this point. All right, so that'll wrap it up here for the edition of Northern Star Sports Podcast. Thank you for listening, and tune in and go on northernstar.info for your daily dose of Northern Illinois University news.